Trek to Yomi! We are here with the runner, obviously Aishma, who I'm talking for because he was too busy laughing. Hello,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this, Highway to Hell, I want to say. I mean, it's basically the translation of the game because Yomi is the Japanese underworld. Anyway, most of you will probably not know this game because it just released at the beginning of May, so it's a very fresh game. It's a very, Akira Kurosawa-inspired one, so if you are a fan of those movies or samurai movies in general, this is definitely a game for you, so, pick your ears up. You might have already seen me run this game during BSG 35 like a month ago. However, at that time, we were doing basically baby's first speedrun on Kabuki difficulty. It's the easiest speedrun in the game, and that's one thing. However, for ESA, we're just gonna scroll this all the way up to the right, to Kensei difficulty. And as it already so eloquently puts it, everything besides bosses can be defeated with a single hit, including you.
And you.
Emmy, of course. So if you've ever played games like, Devil May Cry on Heaven and Hell difficulty or Ghost of Tsushima on Lethal difficulty, you kinda know what this is gonna be like. And because of that, this is basically a very stressful run all the way out, because if I die, I can basically lose minutes to this. And that is why I have these two very lovely people right beside me, which make me look absolutely tiny because, they are really big guys. And, yeah.
We're good. We got your back.
Who are you guys?
And your sides and everyone else.
Oh, no,
Hi, everyone. I'm
this is so
Nashrex, and we have Bobby here, the Blacktastic. We're going to be commentating for his run. Introduce yourself, Bobby.
I already have. I said, I'm Bobby, and then I'm...
Do it again!
I'm Bobby the Blacktastic, and you're going to be seeing some good old black and white action over here.
Yeah.
Kensei, you don't have to, like this isn't even a donation extension. Like you're just offering it right out the box.
Yeah.
Speaking of incentives, there is actually a incentive running. However, it's not a monetary incentive. You guys watching this right now in Twitch chat can make or can participate in a poll of which of the three endings we are going to go for. There is the love ending, the duty ending, and the vengeance ending.
Vengeance.
Last time we went for the love ending, so, maybe switch things up just a little bit. This incentive will run until the end of Chapter 6 of the game, which will be about 55 minutes into the run, so you have enough time to, get to know the story a little bit and see what we're gonna go for. Furthermore, I will be donating $5 for every death that I take during the run. So somebody keep count so I know how much money I have to donate.
Right here, buddy.
Should this actually be a deathless run? It's never happened before. It might have. I will actually go ahead and... What's the highest prize that we go for? It's like $250, I think, to donate, to win something?
I think it's about like
Something like that.
Someone in that range. Someone in that range.
Let's just go for that.
Yeah,
let's just set a goal like $250 if I do a deathless run. No, that's something.
Sure.
Last
No
thing.
pressure.
Last thing. I like haikus. So if you guys want to go ahead and make your donation a haiku.
No. I want a punny haiku.
A punny haiku.
A punny haiku.
Punny haiku.
Punny haikus are the best haiku.
I was just gonna say, if you guys do a haiku, I will go ahead and match that donation. But if you do a punny haiku, you will also match it.
Can I just say, Aishma?
You're on Twitch chat. Come on.
Can we call those a punku? Does that work?
Punku.
Punku.
I like that.
All right,
I'm leaving. All right.
That was Bowie. Bobby Blacktastic, everyone. Give it up for him one more time.
Lots of commentary. All right. The thing is, why are we making so much fuss about this? We have an estimate of 1 hour and 30 minutes. My world record of the run is 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Oh, we got time.
So we have a little bit of lead time. However, during practice, I very nearly beat it like every time, but the game crashed or something else might happen. So if that doesn't happen, might see a world record. So
let's go in.
Let's go.
why don't we go for this?
Yeah.
So you guys are ready?
Yeah, we are. Are you
Everybody's
ready?
I think so.
Okay.
So timing will start once I start skipping the first cutscene.
Yep.
So once you see that prompt in the upper right corner that we're gonna skip the cutscene, that will be start. All right, let's go ahead and get this show going. In 3,
2, 1,
go!
手ほどきするは学ぶこと。
All right.
故に今日は我
So
が
we're the
先を
little
行こ
kid here. We're getting our very first
う。
sword
愛
lesson.
を分けよ。しかと見よ。
So.
So this is basically Sandro. He's our master and also our foster father, and he's gonna teach us the way of the samurai because obviously we are an orphan. We don't have any family anymore, so somebody has to take us in.
技を見せてみよう。
And of course, with bonding with your father figure, like, and with this tutorial, I mean, like, you already know what's gonna happen next, but
Spoilers!
Spoilers. Sorry, we just started. This game is 2 months old, Bobby. Come on, get a grip, man.
hey, man, you already know, all right?
刀を振ることしか知らぬ者の先は見え
You basically get
ておる
taught like the basics of this game, and funny enough, for this particular category, it's also most of the tech that H-Man's gonna be using.
It is, it is.
The basics are important
風のよう
for
に動け。
the way of the samurai.
さすれば刀にとらわれることはあるまい。
Yeah.
So we're basically doing some basic sword practice here. We're learning about the parry mechanics in the game. And now they changed it with the patch. We are supposed to do more parries and counters, as you can see in the upper right corner of the screen here. However, I'm only going to go ahead and parry him, because if I were to counter attack, he would get hit back, and that would obviously lose me time, because he would have to, you know, come back up to me. If I just go ahead and parry 5 times, that perfectly works well for the game as well.
With Steam, are you able to use like the older versions so you can?
I
skip
guess
this tutorial
so. I mean, I'm more of a console player, so I'm not exactly sure about it, but I think you could roll it back to the earlier version. The problem with that is, though, due to balancing issues, they changed some of other techniques as well. So, for example, we won't see it during this one because, you know, every enemy except the bosses die in 1 hit. But there is the light overhead combination that we will pick up in Chapter 3, which you do by holding up, tapping 2 light attacks and a heavy attack. And what that actually does is obviously it will deal damage, but it would also stun the enemies. And when you stun an enemy, you could go ahead, run up to them, and get an execution attack in, which will instantly kill the enemy no matter how much health they have left, but also refill your own health. Now, obviously, since all the enemies die in 1 hit, we will not see this on Kensei difficulty. However, with the recent patch, they patched out the stun capabilities of that particular attack, so it does make a difference on the other difficulties if you're gonna run that. But for Kensei, again, you know, everything dies in 1 hit, including us, so we don't care about things like that too much.
Yeah, the main thing that we have to take care of is like there's different types of enemies that we have to deal with over the course of the run, and adjusting to the strategies and the tactics that they use and the kind of attacks we were expecting. That's the stuff that we need to adjust for. When it comes to HP, everything is basically on 1 single HP, so a single spark to the eyebrow can kill you, and that might come into play later in the run as well. But it's all about just the one touch kill. That's basically what we're dealing with here. No matter how much armor you have, just a single tap and you're down.
I mean, it's really nice, like on Kensei difficulty, you don't even have a health bar anymore. You have the stamina bar in the lower left, and that is it. They completely, you know, programmed out the health bar.
So our town here is getting attacked by bandits, and we, as like the trusty samurai in training, are actually going to go out and help our villagers here.
We're going to grab this shrine. There's basically the checkpoints that if I die, I will go back to the last shrine that I activated. And the first enemy. And he's dead.
First blood.
Yep, that's it.
Clap!
That was actually a hard hit. Like that one can really surprise you because you haven't actually attacked anything here, and well, suddenly you keep on killing. So one major thing that has to be explained here is that there's 2 modes in the game. There's a free roaming mode and there is a fighting mode in this game. So when you're free roaming, when your sword is sheathed, you can see H-Man just walking around the area as it's exploring. When we're in this mode, the combat mode, we're actually basically solid on a single line. We are fighting in a 2D space. But as you can see, the entire game is in full 3D, which means enemies can actually... Wait, nice little speech. Okay, let's go on. That was a mid-boss. One to kill. Like, only the bosses have actual HP bars. That one, not so much. But yeah, because we're stuck on a 2D line when it comes to combat, enemies still walk around in a 3D space, and you saw A-Smash slash there, but it was just a tad bit too early. The enemy wasn't actually on his 2D line yet. So as soon as it snaps, the enemies will just snap towards you, and then you can engage in combat with them, and then they will engage in combat with you as well. It's very important to just learn that distinction because like most of the game is about that. So now he's in free roaming mode. Gonna grab up a shrine here for safety. No, just skipping it. Brave man.
We don't need that one. The enemies are going to be just crumbly for us. Now that I've said it, I'm probably going to die in a few.
I'm just waiting for it now.
As it happens, as it happens. Now, besides just straight up fighting enemies, sometimes you also have these environmental things, like go up to this crane and slash it and drop all these logs on the enemies down there. But since we don't have to fight them anyway, I'm just gonna leave them be.
Pacifist mode, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, we were supposed to save the village, but I guess those 3 guys don't matter.
I don't know. They'll convert and become bartenders and just like work the fields. Go. That is a stamina upgrade that HMA just picked up. Because we don't have an HP bar and we only have to deal with the stamina bar, it also becomes basically the most important resource in the game for us. Everything is tied to that stamina bar. Sprinting, slashing, parrying, blocking, like all of it has to do with that particular stamina bar.
Sneaky bastard. Like, he's not supposed to go behind me. I think Nasdaq's already touched upon that with the 2.5D plane.
Yeah.
However, the enemies don't exactly adhere to that logic. They can move freely around you and try to, you know, go into your back and attack you from there.
Yeah.
And it can be a little bit finicky to, you know, get the enemies to actually go properly onto the plane so you can fight them. Because they just much rather just shift around to the sides and try to get into your back.
Yeah, AI programming in this game is very unique, and we'll go into it a little bit more further down the run. But this is the first major boss that we're finding, the Chapter 1 boss.
And that's it.
And he's dead. Clap! All right. So we are now on to Chapter 2. We have officially grown up, and we know how to fight with swords better, and we're slashing our first 4 guys. Well, so we just go to the right here. We actually are trying to save a village with our fellow samurai, who is about to be attacked by another bandit king, or bandit lord. But our fellow compatriots got captured, and we're just walking to them and trying to rescue them, whilst also saving the village. So in the meantime, Bowie, do you have something for us?
Perfect timing. We've got a bunch through here. We have a $75 donation. Oh, yeah. From Sebastian 213. Just says, I'm ready. Thank you. We got GBN, $75 donation as well. That's 2 in a row. Nice. Great run for a great cause. Good luck on the trek to Yomi. And all other runs. And then we have Rachmanzai, $25 donation that says, Eishma, Grüße aus der Heimat. No death run incoming.
Nice kill.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No death, he just died.
Yeah.
Some of those donations did go to a couple of incentives as well, so thank you. Back to the lads having a cracking time on the couch.
I will give chat a challenge. If you donate with, like, I don't know, a lot of O's. I want to see a lot of O's in your donation.
Find the upper character limit for the amount of O's, and Bowie will say them all.
Yeah.
There you go.
I also do German and yo.
Exactly. All right. By the way, there was a mid-boss there, and Ishma just threw a kunai at him, and he died. That's basically the main gist of the game. It's like Kensei mode. It makes this game play very unique. It's not one you unlock immediately. You have to play one of the 3 other difficulties first to actually unlock Kensei, the hardest one, the Ronin one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. If you unlock, like, if you beat the hardest difficulty in the game, you get this one. This is the most authentic experience because it's a one-touch kill, but there's a lot of shrines out there, so, like, time loss is a thing, but you won't lose more than a minute or 2 by a death. It does teach you a lot more about the game.
So there are more bandits there. They are holding like the person prisoner. You can see them talking down there. We're basically not caring about that. We just leave them be, like, you know.
It's one of your
This
friends.
is a speedrun. We don't have time.
I just had to make sure. I just had to look at the category that it was any percent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any percent, no care.
I mean, it's the highway to hell, not the highway to heaven.
Different band.
Yeah, I mean,
Different band. Yeah.
different band, different run.
You're correct. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So right up, we are going to be introduced to the armored enemies, and these guys can take a beating. Like if you're playing this casually, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like getting through the armor is like hell, and yeah, he's dead.
This is the best thing about Kensei category. You can make up like tons of stuff, and there's like monologues in here from like someone who wants to really just give us backstory. Like you can just sit there, just watch the time for minutes on end, and he'll still be talking. But you can just run up to him, slash him, he's dead, and then the best thing happens, they turn into ragdolls. So if you see them fall down, they have like their scream of death, but they also turn into a little ragdoll body, and some weird things can happen. I'd love to see clips of that after this run, because there's gonna be some interesting ones that pop up. We've seen some freeze frames, we've seen some spins already during practice. It's been great.
Also, just a note to tech, if you could like lower my game audio by about 10%, because whenever I do a sword strike, I can basically hear nothing else.
That's the true offending experience, man.
But, you want me to do the voiceover?
I feel like I'm really inside this right now, and it's nice to have my audio cues, but like, I think I'm gonna go deaf after this run.
Honestly, like having said that, the music and the overall aesthetic of this game is very unique. Even though you could tie this game up close to like what will be a like Devil May Cry or even the Dark Souls-like game, it's built as a narrative title. It's all about just getting into that vibe, getting that experience, and it's honestly a breathtaking game to go through. Honestly, if you play the very easiest difficulty, you can probably finish this game in about a good evening or two. But just looking at the environments, you're just gonna stand still at times and just, like get bewildered at like what the environment will offer.
The game also really incentivizes like a lot of the collectibles, a lot of the secrets that you can find in the game, especially since there's like a pretty big power spike like near the end where your stamina can just get instantly eviscerated.
Yeah, like.
I mean, that is like one of the main challenges like in this one is like just proper stamina management, because you saw me do that like a couple of screens ago where I just completely ran out of stamina and she's like Hiroki like hunched over and looked like really beat up, and you are not able to block even if you are tired, and if every single strike can just instantly kill you, that's a bit of an issue.
Can be. You can parry though. You told me this earlier.
You can parry, but you know, try to parry when all your movements is slowed down and you're about to die. So it's like a really high stakes situation at that point.
I'm hearing like Kensei no stamina mode.
I mean, that would be really slow because he also like walks really slow when he's out of stamina. So you know, it's like.
Wait, hold on, I'll save you.
He just has asthma, man. Like, what can I say? The poor fella.
Yeah, the battle scenes of this kind of remind me a lot of like if you ever play like Tales of Symphonia, where like you kind of have to wait until the enemies kind of hone in on you. There is like no like hard targeting in this game, is there?
Yeah.
Like,
There's an interesting aspect with the AI just going on to that one. So basically, when enemies snap to the line that you're on and you're engaging in combat, only one enemy is actually actively engaged. The rest of them are more passively just stuttering around you, just basically just feeling out the crowd, and they want to attack, but they'll shuffle backwards. And there are some enemies that are behind you, and you just want to go to the right as far as possible in order to just get quick screen transitions. If they shuffle backwards, you can spend a lot of time catching up to them, and they just become like a very annoying dance partner.
the point blank shuriken, really?
So good, man.
I mean, speaking of dance party, you know, we do have an incentive for a Jew Beat showcase.
Yes.
That still needs some money to
Yeah. So Bowie, you have one for us. Have something to say about the Jubeat?
I mean, at ESA Winter 2022, there was only one machine, and unfortunately, no one else could play it because I was on it. so this time they brought 4 machines.
So you can play 4 at once.
Only 3 people can play. But yeah, there's going to be a showcase later of the hardest song in the game, on the hardest difficulty. And Yubi is an incredible rhythm game. I love it, but it's definitely a special one. So if you want to see that, and I do, give us your money.
Can I get 1 second? He's fighting the second boss here, and this guy's standing in a very weird position. He should actually go to the background here and not attack you, but he didn't jump backwards. That's never happened before. So you could keep on fighting him, but he didn't take damage.
Normally he jumps into the background and is out of the fight, but he stayed in the foreground and actually blocked me from going.
Yeah, that was very weird. That was just.
I have never
looked at the
seen
camera. He's like, it's a living.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't had this never happened before during the marathon yet. So I guess we are finally an official speedrun marathon.
Yeah, there you go. You're finally a speedrunner, buddy.
Yeah. Making the dream come true.
Well done. All right. We are
Speaking of making dreams come true, can I get that audio lowered just like a little bit, please?
Tech, please. H-Man's going deaf. He needs audio cues, but those slashes just sound very.
I mean,
do they?
I do get my audio cues, but holy hell.
All right, we just found out that actually it was a decoy that we were sent to. We were sent to an entire village with our fellow samurai. Those got killed, like, in the background. We don't care about those anymore. And we just found out that they're actually a decoy, so the Bandit King is actually in our town, and we're running straight back because we have our love interest in town waiting for us to come back and save him, and we're just trying to get back to her, like, as fast as possible. But the entire town is in flames. The one that we saw in Chapter 1 is now back in Chapter 3, and now it's lit on fire.
Spoilers, we don't know that yet.
Yep.
We don't know that yet.
What? This town is on fire.
Oh, the town, yeah.
Literally on fire.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Who's on
I thought
fire?
you were talking about the Mandalorian because I can't hear you because of all these sword flashes.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. Just, like, do less unnecessary
Oh,
flashes.
I'm just concentrating on the game there.
Yeah, perfect.
Like on this archer that's coming up.
There we go. Nice little archer. Long monologue. Roll, slash,
He's down.
go on. Yeah.
Come on.
I love this difficulty.
Yeah. Oh, I should state, by the way, so we have basically 2 ranged weapons in this game. We have the kunai, and we have the bow and arrow that we can use. There's 2 major important factors that come with that. So they're both consumables, so we have to pick up a few items on the way to get more of them. But because it's Kensei mode, they both instantly kill everything. So you see HMS every once in a while just being a badass, just throwing a kunai to the back and just killing someone off screen, just so you can just move on forward. Like, it doesn't matter. You're dead. Okay, first arrow rain coming down. You get a nice tutorial of one of your friends dying right in front of you, but we just walk past them. Alright. What's very interesting about these arrows, specifically, you see the little light flashes come past you? You can actually dodge in between those arrows. Ooh, and that's 1. Alright, we get to see the arrows again, so I can...
I want to show off what we were just talking about
exactly.
at that point. Like.
So you see, like, the little line between those arrows. The arrows are a little bit finicky, and especially later on, they can come at you at an angle. And because this is a 3D game, you might think you're safe behind, like, a barricade, but you're not. So be very mindful of those particular lines, and you can just get through them relatively fast.
I mean, to be fair, that was basically just a show-off so the audience actually knows how easy it is to actually die and how much time you lose, because so far this one has probably looked pretty easy to do, right? Like, a lot of you people are probably going like, oh, I can do that. And if you still think that, you know, go to the leaderboards and show us.
Yep. Like, I completed my first run in just under 3 hours, and that was on the, what was it called? Like, Kabuki mode? Yeah. The very easy.
Baby's first speedrun.
Yeah, baby's first speedrun. That was my baby's first speedrun run. But it was very good. Like, you can just go ahead and just explore the game. Those horse guys are not something you want to kill or attack or whatsoever. You just roll past them. And if you're fast enough, then you can dodge most of them. And when they come from the back, it's very weird. They slash way too early, so you can just like not care. They just keep on rolling. Ooh.
They're actually not slashing where you are. They're just slashing at predetermined points.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, it really is.
I wasn't aware of that. I kept dying.
They're not even trying to aim for you. They're just running around and where the hell am I? And just slashing when they're past a certain point there. And we're back in the first chapter actually, where we were a little bit earlier. There was the crane here. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. There you go.
This lovely gentleman was just fudging around just a little bit. So, I mean, at least he was going the way I was going to go, so that was good.
Yeah, the AI, especially the pathfinding AI, can get a little bit finicky because they want to get to the 2D line and get into combat mode, but they also want to go towards you as a player. So if you're in their way, they'll just shuffle around you a little bit back and forth, so they can actually, even though you've seen it 100 times and they spawn in front of you, they might just spawn behind you and just walk the other way around. Just a lot of adjusting here. There's a lot of technical and a lot of mechanical prowess being shown here by Aishma, just like adapting to everything that the game is throwing at him. And apart from that, it's just learning the enemies and knowing exactly which attacks to use in which
This enemy just now that I killed actually showed that off pretty well, because he's jumped down from the roof, and you saw him just have his sword leisurely at his side before he go into a combat-ready stance. And that actually tells you when you are able to deal damage to the enemies, because once they are still standing like leisurely around, they're actually invulnerable, and if you attack them, your sword just goes straight through them. So you actually have to wait for them to get battle ready, and then you can attack them. The problem is, if you mistime your slash, they can immediately counter-attack you and obviously kill you, because this is Kensei mode. So all of the sword slashes that we're doing are very precisely timed, all throughout the run.
Carefully picking up a few kunai here. And you're shooting this guy from like 2 feet away.
Gets me every time.
It's so good. But it happens. So both the bow and arrow and the kunai just do instant kills here with this particular mode. Otherwise, like the kunai specifically can take like 2 or 3 hits in order to get it done, and like it's so nice to just
Ooh. I mean, yo.
Alright, we're gonna head close to our next boss
So
fight,
this was
aren't we?
actually the first shrine that we activated, you know, once we left Aiko, once the bandits started attacking. So you should know this area if you've been paying
Yeah.
attention.
That guy really didn't like that arrow
No,
in his
no,
shoulder.
no,
Like, it
no.
was very
I mean, would you like that? Sharp metal object like that pierces your shoulder or something?
depends.
Depends. Okay.
There we go. So Aishma just knows like what enemies to expect, so he just immediately shot like the first enemy, just get him out of the way, and barely just finishing out his stamina bar as he's going back into exploration mode, which doesn't use stamina here. Just a nice little balance back and forth.
Yeah, you'll almost know instantly when you've like headed out of that battle mode, just because like you'll just see your stamina just
Yeah.
slowly refilling back to normal.
Alright. Bowie, we have time for a few quick donations before we head into the next boss.
Okay, cool. We've got $5 from Elkia124. It says, good luck with the Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, the trek to Yomi, Aish. Sorry I could not be there, but have fun with the run, Elk. We have a $10 donation from... Oh, dear. I've got more time for donations then. Brilliant.
Yeah, you do.
Ananace with a $10 donation. That says, well, I heard there are a request for haikus earlier, so haikus are fun, but don't always make sense. Refrigerator. Okay, we have 2 good ones here as well. We have $10 from our very onerous Zonerous that says, yo! Aishma plays samurai game. 1 hit, 1 kill, deathless. Oh my, one more. Shindeiru.
Alright.
Oh.
We just
Spoilers.
Yeah, we just finished the 3rd chapter boss.
Oh,
He killed
that happened.
us. Yeah.
Sorry.
This game goes fast.
I'd like to believe that the oh my was at a good time for the
was perfect.
finish.
It was
Very
perfect.
opportune time, yes.
Yeah, it was
Thanks for
perfectly
the
planned.
cheers. I'm so sorry.
No, it was perfectly planned. It was perfect. So we are actually now in somewhat of a weird swampy forest. I hate this chapter.
Yes.
It's my least favorite one. I pointed at every single time. Like during practice runs, I walk away.
He actually walked out on me. You know, my own commentator just up and left when he saw the creepy crawlies coming up.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
I'm expecting like a very cool like Kurosawa like a samurai movie. I don't want creepy crawlies on my screen. I hate those in RPGs. I hate them here.
you're gonna stick by me, right?
Oh, always.
You're not leaving, huh? Good. At least one person I can trust around here.
Bring the punts, everyone. Bring the punts. We'll get Bobby out of here.
So now we've entered the Sekiro section where everything gets so ghastly and
It's very close to
fitting,
that.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's definitely very fitting. Like here you go. Like you see this screen, and at this point you're like, nah. Oh yeah. By the way, Aiko, our wife here, or love interest.
Yeah, we saw basically a ghost that looked like
Yeah.
our wife.
Yeah. So we saw someone like that. Oh, here we go. And
By the way,
Nice
Tack,
good boss.
you know, about that audio, could you lower it a little bit more?
got some important audio cues coming up. That's
yeah, kind of important. There we go. So these are what do we call these?
The Blighted.
The Blighted, that is it. Yeah, we're for the first time seeing the Blighted people here. We're gonna see those 2 times in the run. First time is during this chapter, which is very ominous. We don't know exactly where we are in the story right now because we're just trying to figure out like what's been going on. Like we got slain, but we're still here. We're fine. And we got another one with a big monologue that would just kill in 2 seconds, and we just keep on going. There we go. Nice little shrine pickup.
So you could actually go and slash down the object there. I think you were going to say that.
Yeah. There's a few puzzle elements in the game. One is mandatory, and the other ones are usually just used to get rid of a bunch of enemies. But because you're playing in Kensei mode, it really just doesn't work that well. Like, you just slash through them in a few seconds anyway, just keep on going. Like, they might be blighted, but they still have armor, and they still just die in one hit. And there you go, creepy crawlies everywhere.
Yeah, a little bit of a small optimization in like the battle rooms. Like you want to take care of like the guys in front of you before they back, because you can get body blocked. So definitely waste time there.
Next monologue, and he's dead.
Like I went for the stab attack again. Like every time you see me actually do the stab attack, I do not want to do the stab attack. It's a mistake. Because yes, you do have more reach with that, but it takes longer to come out, which I can die in their counterattack pretty easily, so I do want to go for my quick sword slashes. But since the input for the stab is actually just holding forward and attacking, and since I want to, advance like every time I can, because speedrun, it's a bit of a finicky situation.
Yeah, you can make that mistake very easy in this game in particular. About the sword slashes. So if you're being attacked from two sides, you see H-Man just going back and forth and just slaying them one at a time. Those backward slashes are very fast to do, and they can just basically just get rid of a lot of enemies. And then the ones behind you have a little bit of time to get towards the player. So you just keep on going back and forth and just wipe out like an entire group of enemies very fast without moving as much. And especially because you want to go to the right side of the screen for the most part, you can just shuffle towards that right side and just get more enemies out of the way easier. And it shaves off seconds. But in the course of a run that's so mechanical like this one, it can lead to minutes of improvement. There we go.
So in a minute here, we actually pick up the third ranged weapon that we're gonna get, which is the hand cannon, the Otsuzu. It's actually an interesting weapon because, it is a big old cannon that we are just lugging around. It actually has the property of being able to penetrate enemies, so you can hit multiple ones at once. However, since the enemy don't exactly line up very good, the weapon isn't actually that useful. I mean, there's like basically one instance where we're going to use it because another thing is it's really slow to reload. Like, tremendously slow.
You will fall. I think that's the...
Where's the guy? There he is.
There's also one thing, the enemies that have that particular cannon, whenever they attack, it's a click sound, and you can just get rid of them. By the way, these are the buddies that you took to the other village in Chapter 2, and they died there, and now they're back to take revenge on you for some reason. You're not exactly aware why, but they're not happy with you, so you kill them. 90% no care mode.
I don't want to fight you!
Well, too bad, because I'm gonna kill you.
I need to go to the right, and anything that's in my way goes.
Yep.
Oh, you see that little line that appeared on the right there for a few seconds, a little jittery line? That's an indication of that's like the farthest you can go until you actually clear the room of combat. So as soon as you clear all the enemies in that room, you can just proceed. That's why we're clearing out most of the rooms and why H-Man is doing those very nice range attacks to the backside there. Getting rid of the last one and just immediately getting into the next room. There we go. Yeah, they're the enemies with the hand cannons, but H-Man's just too fast. You don't even hear the click sound that just has them just go into an attack mode. And if you hear the click, you just roll to get out of it immediately. Alright. I think we're at time for like a few donations before we go to the next ones. Bowie, over to you.
Thank you. I'll do my best to not interfere with the boss fight. We got a $10 donation from Yoki. Yoki here again. Wondering if anyone remembers that famous bear that used to steal picnic baskets at Yosemite Park. I think their name was, we all know the name, Yogi Bear. And then a $25 donation from Tiny Tim. Hey, Tim. Hey, all. Hey, all. Bowie asked nicely, so here you go. This is going towards the UB incentive. Thank you. It's been amazing at ESA. I don't know if this is misspelled here. At ESA, SK Garland. That's definitely, yeah, that was also correct. It wasn't you, Tim, don't worry. It's going to be a great week, great week. Good luck, Ashma, and shout out to the awesome National Act, Bobby and Bowie. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, thank you.
I apologize on your behalf. I'm sorry about autocorrect, man. Like, how dare it?
It's the Bowie correct.
This is Bowie correct.
Whoa, no, genuinely. It says it right here.
We're fighting a mid-boss.
No, we're not. He's already dead. We're not fighting him. We just killed him. There was no
Very nice.
fighting.
Fight a boss. We were.
So, most of these bosses are going to be very fast. So you're going to see a few of them with health bars, and we have some actual strategy to explain. But Kensei mode is all about just like keeping the slashing going. Like it's just all about just trying to get the quick kills in. And we are about to hit our next boss battle, I think.
Yeah, after this last screen.
Yeah, after this room.
Like this is one of the longest continuous screen in the game, which is why you have to really carefully manage your stamina to not run out because there are also a lot of enemies here. So I can't run through here like the whole way because I just do not have the stamina for that.
So thing of note for our next upcoming
And
boss.
this is what happens if you run out of stamina.
There you go.
That last roll was just a little bit too much of him.
You saw Shadow in the back. It's a little bit of a precursor. There you go. So this boss fight in other difficulties is very technical. In this one, you see Aishima already going forward here, so we're going to give him some silent time to get rid of this boss. Hopefully one go.
Just barely within the range of that horizontal swipe.
Like I said, like just cutting a hair and you're dead in this
Yeah.
game, man. Like it's rough. Kensei mode is very hard. And here we go again.
And the problem there, the second projectile was like very far behind me, so I wasn't able to safely roll through that.
Yeah. Nice. Good job. Yeah. That's a very so the boss fights in this game are incredibly hard, especially during Kensei mode, because they can kill you very rapidly. There's some strategy to them, and there's some patterns to their attacks, but you're basically it's up to you to just get the right combinations, and you're still dealing with a little bit of boss RNG, so you're just hoping for right patterns in order to get the right quick kill off. In this case, Aishima didn't get it, so yeah, he had to adjust.
It's like normally like the bosses of chapter 4 and 5, this was the chapter 4 boss, just now, they tend to behave in the same way every time if you behave in the same way. And so you kind of know what they are going to do. However, these projectiles that she's firing from the top of the screen, those are still random where they land. And since at the first try, like this one projectile was like way behind me, I just wasn't able. I just was sandwiched between the two, so I couldn't really dodge her sword strikes. And she just like nicked my big toe or something with that.
Yeah. So now we're actually in Yomi, right?
Yes, we are now properly in Yomi, and it's actually a pretty good looker.
Oh yeah, it looks gorgeous. Honestly,
I love that shot. One of my favorite shots in the game.
This game, they built this as sort of a showcase as well of what they could do with the Unreal 5 engine, and it's just gorgeous. Like the amount of shading they do. What's interesting about this though is that if you play this game on PC, there's actually a mod that removes the black and white filter. This game is full color design and everything, and even that mode looks gorgeous on its own. But they just filtered that out to just make that very authentic feel of like an old school samurai movie, and it just works out like a charm.
Yeah, even like Ghost of Tsushima had that sort of like
the
filter.
Kurosawa mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is just like the pure aesthetic that they
brings that
went for.
feel.
It's really good. It's honestly just breathtaking. Right. We're also fighting ghosts here. They're a little bit different when it comes to their strategies and how to handle with them, but they're basically the same type of enemies. And regardless, 1 HP, they die anyway. So we're just gonna go on like we have been basically. There's a lot of different types of attacks and like patterns. You see them during the bosses a little bit. You have like a light, heavy attack, and like later on we get like a light, heavy attack that we can do as well. There we go. Nice little monologue. Bye.
I don't care.
Works every time.
I love that. This is the game. Like, remember when you played a video game and you had like a boss fight and it was like a cutscene of 3.5 minutes and you were sitting there going like, I just want to fight this guy, and you lost and you had to watch that same cutscene all over again. This game just gives
redemption.
all of that. This is redemption for all those times as a kid. We're just waiting past the cutscene every single time. Here we go. Oh, what a rude guy.
It's a ghost, dude. I mean, like, what do you... I mean, even I could have told you that.
I can see it.
It
was very dumb of me.
Yeah, I can't save you there.
Nope. It wasn't the other ghost, okay?
That one clearly was more ghost than the other ones.
There was a more ghost than the other.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like 110% ghost.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
Oh man, we're
Fucking
going so
ghost
fast. You're
Pokemon.
loading still stuff. You're still loading parts of the environment in. It's so great. Alright. We actually have like an enemy. You saw her appear a little while ago, but there's a ghost lady enemy in here, and I'm just gonna call her the ghost lady. We got the second one coming up.
Yeah, 2 left, 2 right, 1 left.
And 1 left. There you go. For those that don't know what we're doing, we have all the puzzles neatly written out here because Ashma is running this game, but he still doesn't know 6 combinations.
You're not supposed to say that!
Had to buy the Brady Game strategy guide over here.
Nothing.
Good old Prima official over here.
Can I just interject and say this is why he does Ultimate in Onimusha, so he doesn't have to do the puzzle boxes.
Oh yeah, you got 3 people here, Ashma.
I love you, buddy.
You know,
love you.
the moment that this run changed on the schedule, I knew I was in good company.
Speaking of good company, we want to hear your comments from the chat, all right?
Yes.
Put them into a donation with a lot of zeros so we can have the whole crowd going, yo! $10, $100?
That's all we're getting. That's all we're getting.
Yeah.
Get the donations going. Come on, everyone. It's somewhere a good cause. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. Oh, this is very neat. It's a very neat area. There's a lot of like miniature things that they, like I said before, they made this as sort of a showcase run, and there's a lot of like aesthetics that they pull through. You see the walls moving there. It's basically just a tiny little puzzle element. It doesn't come back at all at some point. There's two instances of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it just shows off like the grand scale that they can work with. But H-Man knows, just go left, and that's it. There we go.
So these are actually the toughest enemies in the game. They may not look like it now, but they can ruin your day. Those are the Ronin enemies. And not only do they have a lot of different attack combinations they can use against you, what they can also do is they can leave behind an after image and teleport away from you. And if you hit that after image, it will drain all of your stamina instantly.
Did you just push the button?
Push the button?
You just push the button.
Yeah, I actually did.
Yeah.
But I think that's not normally Bobby's.
Yeah, exactly. That's normally his job. Like,
Where's Mitaka?
We'll be seeing us a little bit later, all right?
we got enough of that incoming later at ESA, so stick around. We got a lot of good runs coming.
So if you don't know what that means, go back to ESA Winter and watch Bobby's, what was it? Symphony of the Night?
Symphony of the Night crowd
Symphony of the Night crowd control.
Let's just call him Mitaku Control at this point.
I'm sure you'll be seeing that video played like throughout like the bumps when we're on break and all that.
Sure. Oh, here we go.
But yeah, like I was saying, like with the enemies that he was just explaining, this is kind of like some more of the point where enemies can really take away your stamina, eviscerate your stamina.
Yeah.
And like in the later chapters, just like hitting you once or twice.
Yeah, Ronin is a equally hard difficulty, but in a completely different way because like those enemies can really ruin your day. But Kensei mode is just all about just like getting the action done.
Yeah, and like stamina management and those especially lengthy battle scenes.
All right, time for the next boss battle. So we saw him before. Welcome to Spear Guy 1. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello, Spear Guy 1. Happy to see you too, bud.
Yeah. He wanted to make up for all the spear guys that we just murdered like instantly.
Yeah, he was still waiting for you in the same spot that he was before.
He was. So, just remember, this was the guy at the end of chapter 2 that bugged out.
Yes.
Apparently, he wants his life in the limelight now.
He wanted vengeance.
Yeah.
Chat. Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Vengeance. Nice. He is really going for you today.
He is.
He's very mad that you bugged him out earlier. There you go. But yeah, it's basically the same pattern here. We're gonna get him past half health, and he's going to the side, to the back this time properly, and summoning his buddies, his cohorts. Everything dies in one hit, so you don't have to actually deal with most of them. And second wave here. And then it's gonna
really
come
low
back.
stamina, so I'm just gonna play around with these guys a little bit before he comes back.
And like, just the same combo, light, heavy this time. Very nicely done.
Have you ever had that boss bug out on you on this stage?
Sorry?
Have you ever had that boss bug out on you on this
No.
stage?
No. That's the first time that ever happened.
Normally he behaves, you know, like a good like a good spear dude. He just stands there, shouts at me, and dies.
But this is Spear Guy 1. He's the alpha dog.
Hey, one, baby, one.
He has that one stab, and he is going to use it.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Thankfully, the times that Aishima did die were like during boss battles mainly, so like the checkpoint was like right there. But like we were saying a little bit earlier in the run, if you're not hitting the checkpoints, it could cost minutes in the run.
Yeah. All right. You're doing the risky strat, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So there's a puzzle going on. That is basically the only real puzzle in the game, and it's a bit of a gambit. We're gonna see if Aishima pulls it off. We're gonna go past this area first. We're gonna. There we go, get a shrine. We're gonna see some horse guys running back, and Aishima is gonna press 2 buttons, and he's doing them in the wrong order.
What?
What just happened?
I hit you
That was
right out the roll.
He wanted to give me more time. So about those buttons.
You press.
I have never died to these guys before. Never.
I mean, I'll just leave, dog.
Okay, there we go.
Third time's the charm.
Those horses are harder to beat than you might imagine, and
Final boss.
yeah, final boss of the game, basically. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Time?
We beat them.
Yeah, we beat them. All right.
Game over.
So, miniature puzzle. This is the only real like puzzle in the game where you have to just press a few buttons in order to get a sequence done. That is different than all the other ones. So, we're gonna go down this little area, and we are gonna we have to cut a boat free. And if you do it before you press the button that pushes the water up, you're always safe because you just walk on top of the boat. Aishima here is gonna do and press the button to actually raise the water, and then cut the rope and get on the boat. The thing is, those sparklies can be anything. Everyone that's playing this casually think there's arrows there or kunai. So they press this button, water comes flowing, you panic, you try to run to the boat, you drown. Or you try to cut the rope and you're not fast enough and you drown as well.
You have to be really quick about it.
Yeah, you have to be very quick about this. Most casual players die here at least once. Ah, now it's a good time. Oh, wait. Have a donation for us, quick?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
We're
yeah,
just
we
chilling
do.
with the water.
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's a $10 anonymous donation with no comment.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo!
No comment. That did go towards the Guitadora drum kit showcase through the Fire and Flames classic track.
I can appreciate that.
I do want to get that incentive in.
Yeah.
Like,
I do want to press the. We need to press the GeoGuessr showcase. That's coming up very, very shortly in a couple of runs. So let's try and get that met. If I can incentivize you a little bit, we do have 2 PS5s up for grabs if your minimum donation is $100.
Nice.
There's one reserved for NA residents and one reserved for European residents. So yeah, there are 2 separate little lots there. But yeah, $100 minimum donation. So $75 minimum donation is for 2 Steam Decks in there for anyone. And there's also, I think, $50 minimum donation for a couple of Nintendo Switches as well. So yeah, prizes to be won.
Good consoles to be won here at ESA.
And also to save the children.
Exactly. Also to save the children. Every single dollar will go to save the children. So it's always for a good cause, but you can win some awesome prizes here as well. Alright. Rebuild the tower.
So you can't actually fall down that hole if you're too slow or too fast, actually. So you actually have
wasn't
to be a
aware
little
of
bit careful about that.
Yeah.
Because if you want to go fast, you actually go onto those stones before they are fully formed.
There we go. Off-screen kill. That's why the audio cues are so important, because like you know he's off-screen and you're just waiting for that little shout of him just dying, and then you'll go, okay, I'm safe. We're gonna keep on going here. We're gonna go up to this gate here. We're gonna pick up ourselves some bunch of arrows. Is that an arrow upgrade or is
No, that's just refill.
Ah, nice refill.
I mean, it is a little bit out of the way for sure, but as we go on earlier, ranged weapons are really, really precious during this run. So, you know, you don't want to pick up everything, obviously, but if you can, just go ahead, grab that.
Yeah.
Makes things a little bit easier. Like this.
There's a lot of collectibles out there that are just single pickups, so getting a full stack of them immediately is just very nice. Yep. And you have rooms like this where enemies can spawn very far behind you. You do not want to spend time walking backwards, so just in this room alone, like those arrows just save them time rather than just use them.
Exactly.
Alright, see the Torii gate in the back? I love that Torii gate.
And we're going to see that in just a moment.
Oh yeah, look at that.
They're going for a little bit of a safety here, picking up another upgrade and a shrine. Because it's been a bit since we had the last shrine, and there is more fighting coming up.
Yeah. Also, we don't have more horses, so you're safe on that.
Yeah, no more horses. Actually, I think I died on both horses, right? The first time around and the second time around.
Yeah, it's the first time.
What the hell?
Those horses were rude today, but as was Spear Guy. Like, this is definitely an upgraded version.
Yeah, I mean, the spear guy, it's just... Sometimes he happens, most of the times he doesn't, but... Yeah.
Those ghost ladies are...
Like, you kind of expect to die on the spear guy every now and
Yeah.
then. You don't expect to die on the hawk.
As a quick question, obviously you had the ending thing, Bob. When do you need that
After the
information
next
by?
chapter?
Yes. We are just approaching the boss of the 5th chapter
Okay, cool.
and towards the end of the 6th chapter. So in about 10 minutes.
I see. Exciting times.
I'll call it out like when we get there. No worries. That Torii gate just turns into a Stargate. Very loud.
Gate to Oblivion.
Yeah. So this boss is very hard, but it has specific patterns, and H-Man is trying to get through the patterns as quickly as possible and do some combos here. This is your old master, by the way. The one that taught you in the beginning, who died at the end of the first chapter. That was a very clean boss fight. That is worthy of clapping. That was really, really good.
Last 2 chapters.
There we go. Chapter 6, City of Skulls.
So you're playing this on PS5.
Yes.
Is this game like tailored for PS5, or is it like PS4 on PS5 for via backwards compatibility?
I mean, it's a both consoles, actually. I'm not exactly sure if it's just a backward compatibility thing, if I'm totally honest with you. I didn't know there's versions for both. There's like separate versions for both consoles.
Yeah.
So it's not just that I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version or PlayStation 5. I'm playing the actual PlayStation 5 version.
Alright, cool.
And obviously it's on PC, and I'm not sure about Xbox, though.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
One thing that, PS5s do take advantage of are those incredibly quick loading times. So,
Oh, yeah.
5 seconds here is definitely like maybe 15, 20 on PS4 or an older console, even a hard drive.
Actually gonna wait these guys up because I don't want to die here.
Doom Guy would have a field day at this place. Just saying.
I mean, look at all these skulls around here. It's like it's a really dreary place to be in.
Guy's helmet flew off. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't get this game.
Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. They
There
just,
you go.
they just really like their helmets, maybe, so they just wish them into existence.
I guess.
Yeah.
I know.
Lose your helmet, lose your honor.
Kind of like that, honestly. Kind of.
Let us know in the comments below.
Donate.
Like, I'm gonna watch back the stream and just see a spam of yo over the chat here. That's just.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Give us all your yos.
Hey, we're starting out with the fresh memes on day 1 of ESA.
Yeah.
Yo.
Like, you're coming on stage here, Bobby. I'm not expecting nothing less.
I mean, at the moment, I am definitely pushing more meaningful buttons than he is.
We'll see about that on Wednesday, sir.
I'll be sitting right behind you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Entire run.
All right, so I know who to like.
Yeah. I'll be there.
The European Speedrunning Assembly does not condone violence.
It's among good friends here. We're all fine with it. Except for me.
Except the time we were not friends.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I was his friend until his Final Fantasy 1 run happened, and then I was like, dog,
Payback.
Control the chaos, please.
No, let it flow through you.
So we're gonna get close to it. So we need to cut off for the ending relatively soon.
I mean, there's still a bit of time until we get through the
Yeah, so
temple at the
start
top.
Oh yeah, but we want to talk about the dragon.
The dragon?
Yeah. Did you see? There's a dragon.
I do see that large, coiled, scaly thing.
Dragon.
That's a dragon.
I like how you're trying. Just go like, we're not exactly sure what it is yet. It's like, well, we found out very.
Have you seen, like, do you remember that early 90s cartoon dialogue where it's like, it looks like we're in a dark place. It kind of seems like a cave or something. Like, dog, it's a cave. That is a dragon.
Exactly.
The dungeon and
Every
the barely
DM's
visible dragon.
Yeah. Every DM's nightmare right there. We're entering a cave.
You walk into a cave.
A dragon, everyone. Let's go. Yeah. Got my potion of
The DM
strength
just
ready.
cries.
Always.
Rest in peace to caves in D&D, because like everyone has night vision anyway.
Yeah.
You can't make it scary. You can't make it spooky. Like,
It's just, well, we got a nice little light here that's coming with us. That light is there, and it helps a little bit with gauging the distance between enemies during this chapter. The thing is, though, that light just bobs back and forth. Remember Navi from Ocarina of Time? This one's worse.
Okay, so Chad, what is that on screen right there at the top? Like, take a guess.
I think it's a dragon.
A bee?
so, like,
Did somebody say a bee?
Bee?
This is
That's
a bee movie?
one big ass bee. So.
took me out. Slayed me.
You called it! You doomed him!
All right.
Slay me.
So
Oh my
that
God.
one's on me. I'll pick up the tab on that one. All right.
Ashma 7, Bobby 1.
Give me my time back.
Yeah, this is
We'll
like
take
a
his bat
pretty
later, it's fine.
a pretty heavy checkpoint to reset on.
Yes, that's one of the hardest checkpoints to reset. Oh, Bobby just doomed. Can't believe it. We actually found out something very interesting about the upcoming screen.
So about
we
this
were
old
almost there.
creature on the
Yeah,
back there.
exactly.
B, right?
The giant scaly bee in the background. We actually found out, like, if you play this casually, just in very much admiring all the backgrounds, I completely missed the upcoming screen, and so did Ishmael for a long time.
It's true.
So if you look in the top right, that is actually the mouth of said bee.
Yep.
It's
the
a
Grand
giant bee now.
Imperial Mongoose is right
Yeah.
there.
We're making up lore in this game as we go. Like,
I mean, has anybody checked out the official lore? I don't think so.
yeah, we tried.
We certainly did. All I could come up with
Yeah.
is mom.
Oh my God, no! That's not a very bad checkpoint, though. He got the you got
Yeah,
the
you
one
got
here.
that.
Okay, you got the one here. Thank God. All right. These guys, like, honestly, like, this is one of the hardest rooms because these guys can very much be very finicky to play around with. As you can see, as HMI is swiping forward, they actually take a step back and then counterattack at you. So you got to be really in their face in order to actually get the first swipe off immediately. If you don't, it can become a very hard fight to deal with. HMI just knows where to go. That light is just following you behind. Oh, about that light, I wanted to say one more thing. That light can actually go like through enemies and on top of them, which means you can't see them properly anymore, and that can definitely really be a run killer for you if you just keep annoying you. They can kill you. We should be there, right? Time for our incentive.
I mean, it's still a little bit time, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
People
A few more
wanna
minutes,
go for
chat.
those.
Like that poll needs to be closed soon, but a few more minutes. We're only gonna explain the ending you guys picked, by the way. There's 3 endings. Yep. I have an opinion on which one is actually canon. H-Man has an opinion on which one's canon. Bobby has an opinion on all of them. And yeah, I'm really curious which one you guys will pick.
Once again, we did see the love ending during Beast
Yeah.
35 just a month or so ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to see another ending,
Maybe pick one of the other
another
ones.
Vengeance.
This is the final puzzle of the game, by the way. It's very hard. You just gotta remember this particular sequence of 6 towers, and as soon as you get them done, all the puzzles are out of the way. Congratulations,
did you say 6?
Yeah, 6 towers, right?
They're 4.
4 towers. And you took that long?
Can I get another commentator, please?
So hi, I'm the Black Tap. And I'm here for
You're in good hands.
I mean, he doesn't at least abandon me when there are spiders on screen.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, that happens. Just play games without spiders. I'll be there. There we go. So we're now in the final part of Yomi. We're actually just seeing some sort of memories just getting deformed and reformed as we're going through particular sections. We're back to seeing the non-ghost enemies now. We're actually close to the exit. We're trying to find our way out of this place, but first we have like one major obstacle to deal with, and they're basically spread around like through these towers.
So we're gonna activate 4 more of these obelisks, and then we're gonna go through another Torii gate. And as soon as I go through the Torii gate, that would be the point where it would cut off the incentive.
Yeah, it would cut off a little bit before, so they have time to figure it out.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So you go.
Give it like 2 more towers.
Yeah. Okay.
2 more towers.
Let's make it 2 more obelisks.
2 more towers. 2 more obelisks. As you can see, these guys were not on the 2D plane yet, and as soon as they got on there, they just started to become very finicky and just like walking backwards the entire time.
They especially move fast in this chapter
Yeah.
too. Like they are so skittish.
Yeah, they can be they can be gunning for you, and as soon as you prep the attack, they just walk away, and they can keep doing that over and over again, and really just like become a terrible dance partner.
So basically, at the next obelisk, we're
Yeah.
cutting off.
Exactly. Next obelisk, we want the Twitch poll to be closed, and we need the ending.
No worries.
Yeah, you got this?
I got you.
Perfect, Mo. Perfect. All right. So we're having to deal with... Ooh, that was a nice double.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Love to see it.
Another
2 doubles.
And the guy comes actually.
Oh,
in
he's
immediately.
early! Ooh. So that particular enemy is actually going to be, it actually spawns as soon as you like basically kill the final ones on the right, and it usually spawns very far off screen to the left, so when you're playing this casually, that might be a place where you're just stuck, and it just doesn't make any sense until you see him just scurrying and going along the screen going like, I'm here, come get me.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I really.
Alright. We're going to need it anytime soon. We have like 2 more towers to go, and then we need to implode it. So, lore-wise, we're basically in the final stretch of Yomi, and we need to find some center of balance. Basically, the fact that we got slain in Chapter 3 and
in
here...
Chapter 6.
But Nash won.
Could you guys just stop talking about retiming?
Can't believe it!
What is this commentator's curse that I have brought upon me here with these 2 dudes? Like, what did I do?
We're trying, okay? Come on, you can live through the next one.
And before, yep, I'm out.
Nash! Who was that? Out! Who was that? Who said it?
Nash 2.
That's gonna be in timeout after this.
Good God. Oh boy.
Jesus.
Okay, please go through the room. We got this. Alright, focus mode here. Honestly, like these types of rooms, and because we're playing Kensei, like everything can kill you. So like even a small cinch can be terrifying for you as a player. And normally, these types of rooms with AI, you're very much accustomed to like a particular pattern. Like they deviate a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But as Spear Guy 1 proved, like sometimes they just don't play along at all, and they just your run can devolve, and it's all about just having that proper adjustments that you got to keep doing going forward. There we go.
Nice roll.
Nice, good stuff. Here, those are those quick backslashes back and forth, just dealing with all those enemies, except for the one that just like didn't want to play along again. Sometimes they just take just one tiny backstep and they get just barely out of your range, and you got to be incredibly careful for that counterattack that's going to happen. All right, we are going through the gate. What's it going to be, Bowie?
Vengeance.
Yes!
Okay.
Thank you, chat.
Now I just have to remember to actually select them.
Vengeance is the one. All right, we're going through the dojo gate that we saw in the first chapter. And we have to fight ourselves. So we're basically fighting an unbalanced version of ourselves, and Aishma just immediately kills him. Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect fight,
Ending
man.
locked in.
Yeah.
We are good to go for the last chapter of the game.
Yeah. So we just woke up, like as we said, like in chapter 3 we were slain, and now we just basically got back from Yomi, and we're back to finish the job. And this is the place where you saw us like walk around back and forth in chapter 1 as a kid, and you see a lot of these rooms just come back here. We have a few enemy rooms to take care of still, and some enemies just come like leaping forth from the backdrop into the front. It's a very dynamic chapter when it comes to enemies. And the hardest enemy in the game casually will come up fairly shortly as well. It's the Mega Armored guy.
Mega armor.
Mega Armored guy. Almost Mecha Armored guy, but I'm making a reference that's just gonna happen in like a few
This is
minutes.
not an anime.
No. Not yet.
Yet.
Just you wait, chat. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. It'll take like 3 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Some barrels, taking care of some poor guys below. They didn't see you coming at all. Suddenly, Kakeshi's castle. That was a bridge section. Alright, here we go. All those checkpoints, like, they're very miniature, like, time losses, but because of the chance of you dying to something very strange, I almost changed it there.
There's also that insta stamina refill.
Here he is. Here he is. And he's dead. You get a special light armor, anti-armor rotation attack to get behind him and just slowly whittle him down. But one single kunai Kensei takes care of him, and we're out of there. The hardest mid-boss. Hardly knew him. Here we go. Oh, wow! So, because enemies have to snap to the 2D plane to get into combat mode, because that spear guy was in the way of the guy in the sword that was normally going to go ahead of him, we were able to shoot the spear guy in the back before we actually just went into it. So they were in the way of each other. So yeah, about the arrows. As I said, and for those of you noticing, like I said earlier, that the arrows come and not at a straight line. Particularly in this section, they have angles going for them, and they can get behind a bit of blockade, and they become very finicky. That was a very nice roll. He planned that, by the way. That's usually what he does there.
Of course he did.
Right. But no worries. You see those arrows being incredibly annoying? We're gonna get them. We're gonna come for those guys.
Finally.
Finally, we're finally gonna get our payback for all those rain of fire arrows. I love these scenes where you're just like hiding behind the screens and everything. There's so many neat little references to the old samurai games out there, the old samurai movies to watch. There we go. There we are. Remember all those archers back in the day? And 2. And 3. A few more. 4.
I mean, I would say it's a shooting gallery, but I'm not doing any shooting here.
You're slashing them.
Slashing gallery?
Yeah, you're basically putting it out of commission. Very nice. No more rain of arrows. Those are out of here. So, we have, I think, one more room left.
Sorry?
We have like one more room left?
Two.
Two left to go. Alright. This guy was trying to loot. Didn't have a good day. And this is the final room in the game where we are actually fighting other enemies. Never mind. Nash for 3.
We gotta go through Yomi all over again.
Yeah. Got like 20 minutes to the run. We're good on time anyways.
Okay, new deal. Stop talking about the fights while they happen.
So enjoy these lovely backgrounds. The town's on fire, but we just call it an aesthetic decision, like for more lighting.
So that was
actually the final room of the game.
Normal enemy in the game. So we're just about to do our gauntlet to the last last boss fight.
Yeah, we only have the last fight left, but we have a section coming up that I'm dubbing the Michael Bay section of the run. I love this so much. There's one piece of note that I'm gonna throw in there. It's about halfway in there. Because Kensei is still Kensei. Keep in mind, one little smidge can actually kill you. And in this case, even like a little spark to the eyebrow can just move you down. All those oil parts can kill you. And this is the one. Magic Pixel, not hit. Good job.
Good stuff.
I've seen HMA on PB base here and just die there because he just got a spark in the eye and just fell over. Here we go.
Finicky.
Enjoy, everyone. Enjoy this lovely scenery. Bowie, do you have some final messages for us before we head into the final boss?
Let's go, Ishma. Let's finish this in style.
Perfect. Oh, style indeed. Let's go. You hear the fireworks going off in the background, and I love that.
It's like the Halo 3 party sound.
That's me on a warthog every single time. All right. Remember the very beginning of the game and the dojo we fought and we learned how to be a samurai from our master. We're back at the same dojo. So we fought this guy in chapter 1. We fought this guy in chapter 3. And now we're back in chapter 7. We killed him once. He killed us once. Now it's time for the tiebreaker. Phase 1 went perfectly. We're actually going to see him in his Yomi form now with special Yomi powers. And he is going to, oh boy, be an absolute prick. But we have Ishma here. Oh, what?
Yeah, that attack is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Especially
He was
when
not
back
supposed to attack me there. He was supposed to change phases.
Yeah. So when he's in the second phase, at this halfway health point, he should spawn his chapter 1 and chapter 3 form. And he didn't, because sometimes this game just doesn't play along. It's just, you gotta adjust.
Dude.
Hey, that fire on the ground has a very awkward hitbox, by the way, so sometimes you can just get hit by it even after it's gone. Here's where he does it. So now we got his 2 ads, his chapter 1 version and his chapter 3 version, and we gotta fight both of them at the same time. But as we know, there's only one aggressor from the enemies at one given point in time, so we're just taking them down one by one. What is his chapter 1 version doing? He's just chilling around like, to the side. I've never seen that from that guy. Oh! Okay. You got this, buddy.
Yeah, let's get this.
You got this. Phase 1 down. Good RNG on the pattern.
I was out of stamina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he was at the end of the screen there.
You sprinted towards him, and you had to. Bobby mentioned this earlier on in the run, but there is a massive power spike happening at the end of the run. This is part of that. The bosses in the game can be brutal. Yeah. And Kensei mode is getting a demonstration here on how hard it can be. Because Eishima is one of the people in the world who knows this game best. And even still, like, sometimes the game can really surprise you and throw you for a loop there, because like some attacks just aren't supposed to happen in the way they are, and that's just purely because of their positioning. They're very off on position at some point, and then the fights can become very hard to deal with. Okay. Let's bring it home.
So this is why the estimate is actually 1.5 hours, by the way.
Exactly. These fights can be tough, and this can happen at any point in the run. Like, we've seen a few boss fights do weird stuff already, and that was just a very unfortunate swing.
Like after the parry, my heavy attack didn't come out fast enough,
Yeah.
so he was actually to get a hit of his own in.
There's a reason you don't get this mode first playthrough.
And time.
Yeah!
There we go!
Very well done.
Again, Aishima is one of the best at this game,
Yeah.
and this like boss is an entire gauntlet, as you just saw. So again, if you weren't picking up all those stamina, if you weren't picking up your health max upgrades, you can find yourself in a pretty big pickle. Because again, any attack just eviscerates that stamina. But Aishima did it in about a buck 10.
110? That was a
20
really
minutes on
solid
estimate
time.
still, yeah.
Yeah, like
That's
it's a
not too
really
bad.
solid time, honestly. Like it was a good showcase. Track to Yomi has like so much to offer. Like when it comes to narrative aspects of it, it's a beautiful game to go through. And it is on the easiest mode. It's a very fun game to just casually go through. And on this Kensei mode, you can really find yourself at a challenge. And Aishima here showed off like low items, low and incredibly high difficulty.
Yeah, a lot of categories, and again, game just recently came out, so there's still a lot to explore within the game as well. So feel free to join up with the community. You know where to find them.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, the world record is like 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 59 seconds. So even though with all the deaths that we had and stuff, it was still only like 3 minutes over world record from.
Yeah,
Because of that, it
you had a
wasn't
very
that
good
bad of a
pace.
run, even though we died a bunch at the end.
There were a few bad
in the most
deaths in there.
understandable like places,
Yeah.
and there were some like BS, like getting hit out of your roll and all that.
And you had Spear Guy 1 just do weird stuff there.
And I also had you two, death counters like to the left and
So
right
he's
and
gonna die.
Yes. He's gonna die in like 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Yeah, they're perfectly timed, buddy. Yeah, nice job.
Aishima, you got some other runs coming up. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yep.
I actually do. This isn't the only one that I'm going to do during ESA Summer. I'm actually going to be running Samurai Jack Battle Through Time on Wednesday on stream too. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, you are definitely welcome to do so. But I'm not the only one doing runs this event.
No.
Because this guy is actually doing.
Yeah.
Oh,
We will come to him.
okay. All right. We're gonna be doing Castlevania Circle of the Moon a little bit later tonight. It's gonna be a really, really great time.
Love that run. It's gonna be good. Some other runs as well later on in the week for you ahead.
We got the Mega Man 8 crowd control on Wednesday, and we have I guess I can't talk. That's it. Yeah, 2 runs.
But coming to this guy, you might have seen him during winter doing a speedrun of Final Fantasy 1. Now, he doesn't do a run this event because he really wants to speedrun Final Fantasy 14 during ESA.
Yes.
It didn't get into the schedule this time.
I'll keep
so if
hitting
you,
it.
not you, the other guy, you. If you want to see that during ESA Winter 23, go to Twitter or whatever, hashtag Final Fantasy 14 at ESA, and just spam Twitter full of that.
Yeah.
Because we all want to see him run that game next time.
Yeah, you're gonna torture me for 10 hours straight, aren't you?
I am.
That's why you're shouting me out here.
I don't know if I'm going to be commentating on it. I'm just going to be there.
No.
Hey, dude, you can die there. Maybe you can fall down the ledge.
If you're calling me out like that, you're on commentary for 10 hours straight. I'll do a round
I will do
report.
that. I will
It's
do that.
16 hours. He's gonna be sitting right next to me the entire time.
Can I eat between?
Nope.
I guess we'll be seeing y'all later then.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, everyone. Bowie, you have something to say to us as well, and everyone back at home. Thank you so much for watching. Honestly, go play this game. It's very good. It's a very new title, and it's a very nice experience to play. And we're still looking for glitch hunters. There might be a way to skip from chapter 1 to chapter 7.
Who knows?
Maybe if someone can find it.
I mean,
anything
basically
can
the
be
same
crazy.
level.
Like we can bring it back in winter, and it'll be like 10 minutes.
All right, Bowie, bring us home.
Yeah, let's go.
No worries. Thank you very much indeed, Aishma, for a fantastic run there of a very, very cool game. Much appreciated, that one. Before you go, obviously there's one more that we have to throw out here.
Oh, boy.
There's a $50 donation from Frosty9 for the children, and with me once more time. Arigatou gozaimasu, Frosty9. Right, that is the end of my first shift at the event. I will be coming along at some point again during the event to annoy you with more donation reading. But yeah, for now, that's me done. So thank you again for those awesome runs to open the event. It's a real pleasure to be the opening host. We're going to take one more quick break. When we come back, I shall be replaced by the lovely Tainted Tali, who will be taking you through the next few runs. And the next run, I believe, is going to be Star Fox Lilat Wars. We're in Europe. Lilat Wars. We're going to be playing Lilat Wars, the better name for the game, by, well, ESA's very own Argig. It's going to be a good time. So, yeah, get excited for that. I want to push some things before I go. We want to hit those incentives. Come on, GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr.
We need to get another $1,800 on that. So that needs to be met during Argic's run. So go ham. Go very, very ham. And also that you beat one. I want to see that met later. Yeah. So I want to see those pushed. Let's hit those big goals. Thank you so much to all the donations that have come thus far. And keep them coming for Save the Children. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.